The other day I was eating lunch with my friend and we came across this guy who started a clothing brand. And this guy was just saying how he started his brand. He thinks it's really cool. He enjoys it. He loves the art of making things and seeing it made. And he showed me his website, and majority of the stuff that was on it looked like it was produced by AI. And it was just very normal. What you would expect from someone that says they had a clothing brand. I don't think the guy is necessarily like an artist or a craftsman of any sort. He's just some guy that started a brand, and that's it. That's not really the point of it. It's not a bad thing. But he was saying that he loves it. And after the conversation, I just realized that most of my responses for everything he was saying, I was just coming from a different side. I was coming off probably really negative. But I was thinking on the way home, why am I so negative about it? Why am I so negative about the subject? And I think I've come to the realization, I hate it because the people that are doing this now have no skin in the game. I don't think it just applies to clothing. I think it applies to a lot of things. I was thinking about cameras. Maybe about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if someone shot a picture with a DSLR, it was so much better than the picture that you could take on your iPhone 3. And the gap between an iPhone and an actual DSLR was night and day, which meant for someone that was going to pursue photography or anything like that, the money that they spent on a lens and the camera, the time it took to learn exposure, ISO, f-stops, all that stuff, there was just so much work that was involved to take a great picture. Where nowadays, there's people that are taking amazing pictures with an iPhone. And if you compare it to someone that spent close to $10,000 on their equipment, and then there's another guy who's basic on Instagram as a street photographer, but all he uses is his cell phone. It's just kind of a disappointment where if the majority of the world can't even tell the difference between your $5,000 setup and someone that's doing it on a phone, it's kind of a bummer. And you could say, well, I can tell because I'm an expert analyzer of photographers, but 99.9% of the world probably can't tell the difference. And I could only imagine that's disappointing. And I feel it's the same way when it comes to clothing, screen printing. I'm looking at t-shirts and I could notice the difference between fabrics. I could notice the difference between inks. And if I were to do something that someone else was doing digitally, it would be a lot more involved. And it's like to the customer or to the regular person that sees this artwork onto a shirt, it means nothing to them. Because honestly, screen printing is kind of archaic. I think when it comes down to it, a lot of the things that we spent our lives getting better at is becoming archaic every day. Because the barrier of entry to be able to do things now is just so small. Think about DJing. Do you remember? There used to be a time in order to be a DJ, you needed to buy turntables, you needed to buy a mixer, you needed speakers, you needed all these crazy cables, and you needed to go spend your time searching for records. In and out of stores, buying records, finding milk crates to put your records in. Now, I see people DJing at different things. Maybe they're not called DJs, but they're DJs. All they have is their phone or a laptop and a Spotify playlist connected Bluetooth to some speaker. And it's like, that's not a DJ in its purest form with the art. When it comes to videography, I see people doing amazing videos with the FX3. I see people doing amazing videos with the iPhone and CapCut. There was a time in order to do video, you needed a super good computer to be able to handle it. You needed a really good camera. You needed the lenses. You needed the software like Adobe or Final Cut. Now you can get DaVinci for free. You can do everything so easy now. And I think it just took away a lot of what made all these things that were fun. I think it really takes it away, even though it's amazing progress to be able to do so many things. I don't think necessarily everyone was meant to do them. And I guess that's why everything nowadays just seems kind of vanilla and plain, because it takes a lot to impress someone. You don't really need a lot to do anything. all that impressive. Well, you know what? I'm a guy that spent thousands of dollars on Adobe software, and to find out you can do something in a matter of minutes using something stupid like Canva, it just takes the fun and the art of what once took a lot of time and skill, and it just made it into nothing. It's why I have this negative outlook on things. It's why I've lost the passion to even do my own clothing. It's why I've lost the passion to even open my computer and design anything. It's not that I don't love design, and it's not that I don't love art. Honestly, the craft was stolen by technology and advancement. And I just think that's the state of things. As an artist, as someone that sees themselves as a crafter or a craftsman, maybe I'm old and that's why I think like this. I don't know. What about you? Is there anything that you're passionate about and it just became so easy where it really doesn't matter? It's just something that takes away a lot of it.